Hello class, welcome back. Today we will be continuing with the same chapter that we had started last time. That's chapter 5, plant reproduction. If you remember, in your previous class we have already discussed about what is fertilization, and I told you after fertilization takes place, that is fusion of pollen male gamete with the female gamete. Here we are discussing about plants. So pollen grains contain a male germinative cell, so fusion of that with the egg cell present in the ovary, that's in ovum. Okay, so after the fusion takes place, it would be converted into a zygote, that is single cell. Now after the zygote formation takes place, what happens to the ovary? It gets converted into fruit, and what happens to the ovule? It gets converted into seed. Okay, and all the other parts of flower like petals and sepals might wither off, right? So we have already discussed about all those things. So after fertilization, ovule gets converted into seed. So today we would be discussing about the structure of seed in detail. Okay, now you might have seen seed of a various shape and size. You have seen the seed of a coconut, it's hard and bigger in size. Have you seen the seed of apple? It's very small, and there are certain seeds which are even invisible, like in case of poppy flower and all. Okay, the seeds are very small in size. So seeds, they vary in their size. Okay, different seeds have different sizes and shape. Okay, but all different seeds have certain structure in common. We would be discussing about those common structure. Okay, now if you all have seen gram, okay, commonly called a chana, you have seen that it has a hard outer covering, okay, in a brownish color, the hard outer covering. That hard outer covering is referred to as a seed coat. Okay, and if you soak a gram in a water for a day, another day you will be able to easily remove of the hard covering. Once you remove of the hard covering, you see the fleshy portion. That fleshy portion is also referred to as a cotyledon. Okay, cotyledon also referred to as seed leaf. Okay, now what's the function of a cotyledon? It provides food and nutrients to the baby plant which is present inside the seed. Now that baby plant which is present inside the seed is referred to as embryo. Okay, embryo is a small baby plant which later on after germination will give rise to a new plant. Okay, it's referred to as embryo. So food is provided to the embryo by cotyledon. Okay, because you know that embryo is not capable of undergoing photosynthesis. So till it becomes capable of undergoing photosynthesis and preparing food for itself, the food is provided to it by the cotyledon. Now embryo has two parts, okay, plumule and radicle. Okay, plumule is a part of an embryo which later on would give rise to your shoot system. What is shoot system? It's a parts of the plant which is visible to you and it grows above the ground. That's why it's visible to you, right? So it gives rise to shoot system. Okay, and another part is your radicle. Radicle later on would give rise to root system. Okay, now for convenience of remembering, R for radicle, R for root. So radicle gives rise to root system. Okay, so these are the basic structure of a seed. Okay, now there are two types of seed. What are those? Monocot seed and dicot seed. Okay, in case of monocot seed, only one cotyledon is present. Example is your maize. Okay, in case of monocot seed, you have only one cotyledon present. An example is maize. You all have seen maize, right? Now another, dicot. Di means two. Okay, so dicot seed are those seed which has two cotyledon. Example can be any beans, gram, the one I told you. Okay, so dicot, di means two, mono means one, so one cotyledon, dicot, di means two, that's a two cotyledon. Okay, so dicot has two cotyledon, monocot has one cotyledon. You should know the difference between these two and example of respective. Okay, so that's all about seed. You just have to go through the structure, like what is seed coat, you should be able to label it, cotyledon, embryo. Okay, which part of the embryo gives rise to shoot system, which part gives rise to root system, what are the types of seed, what is the difference between them, and the example of both. Okay, now so we have already discussed about the structure of seed. Now next we will be discussing about germination. Now what is germination? Germination is the process in which your seed under favorable conditions, what are the favorable conditions? Air, warmth and water. Under the favorable condition, the seed gives rise to seedling or baby plant. So this process is known as germination. Okay, all the seeds will not give rise to a new plant because favorable condition has to be met in order for seed to get converted into seedling. Okay, only if the conditions are favorable, if it gets a proper temperature, water or air, okay, only then your seed is going to get converted into seedling. That's why it is said all the seeds do not get converted into plant. Okay, only healthy seeds and the one in which all the conditions such as warmth, air and water is met, it gets converted into seedling, and seedling later on give rise to a new plant. Okay, so the process by which seed is converted into seedling in the presence of proper air, warmth or water is referred to as germination. Okay, you just have to go through the meaning of what is germination. Okay, now next we will be discussing about how seed is dispersed. Dispersed means taken from one place to another. What are the different agents of dispersing a seed? Okay, are we the agent of dispersing a seed? Yes, we human beings and all different animals are also the agents of seed dispersal, because we like most of us like mango. We eat mango and we throw the seed anywhere we like it, right? So those from that seed also new plant may grow up. So even we are the agents of dispersal. Okay, other than us, even the wind, water are the agents of dispersal. In case some of the seeds are very much light in weight, okay, so when the wind blows, along with the wind the seeds are being carried along with it and it's taken to some other places, and in that place if the conditions such as air, warmth and water is met, that those seed gives rise to a new plant. Okay, cotton seeds are very light in weight, drumstick seeds are very light in weight, so they are dispersed with the help of wind. Okay, now some of the plants which grow nearby the water like coconut, date, okay, the covering of those seed coats are very fibrous and spongy, because of which water will be carrying them from one place to another, and wherever the water washes that seed off there, if like I told you, if condition is met, it grows into a new plant. Okay, water, air, wind, then animals, insects. Okay, so all these are the agents of dispersal of seed, and sometimes seeds are also dispersed by explosion. For example, peas, green pea, they are present inside the pod. Okay, a green pea pod. So sometimes the pea pod might burst off. Okay, and wherever the seed reaches, for there new plants may grow. So that's all about the dispersal. What are the different agents of dispersal? From here you just have to learn what are the different agents of dispersal of seed. Dispersal means taking the seed from one place to another. Okay, so we have already today, what did we discuss? Structure of seed, types of seed, what do you mean by germination, and what are the different agents of dispersal of seed. Okay, next day we will be carrying forward with other topic related to this chapter. Okay, so you just go through whatever I have taught you till today, and I would like you all to do one thing. You soak a gram seed, okay, and then after 2-3 days you take it to peel off the seed coat. You show me the cotyledons. Okay, take a picture of it and then you send it to me via WhatsApp. Okay, I would like to I would like you to do this particular experiment at home. Okay, you soak the gram in the water, okay, and then you peel off the seed coat, you show me the cotyledon, take the picture and then send it to me. Okay, thank you so much.